Let's start with a number that should make you feel rich. Since the year 2000, the average American paycheck grew about 123%. That is not a typo. Your money, on paper, roughly doubled. So why does it so often feel like it buys less? Here is the catch everyone reaches for: inflation. Over the same quarter century, overall consumer prices rose about 90%. So stack the two lines together: wages climbing, prices climbing. The wage line sits a little higher. Net, average purchasing power actually rose about 16%. The raise was real. It genuinely beat inflation. Hold that thought, because in 2022, real wages briefly dipped as prices spiked faster than pay. And that single year is a big reason this whole story feels true to so many people. Now stack wages on top of prices and look only at the gap between them. Net of inflation, the average worker's purchasing power did not fall. It rose about 16% since the year 2000. On average, an hour of work today buys more goods and services than it did a generation ago. That is the part almost nobody believes, because it collides with daily life. But it is the honest place to start. The raise was real, and it beat the overall price level. Now look at the typical household, not the average. Real median household income, that's income adjusted for inflation, was about $83,700 in 2024. Compare that with 2019 at about $83,200. 5 years, essentially flat. So the middle of the country ran hard and stayed roughly in place, even as the average paycheck pulled ahead. Both things are true at once. Make it something you can hold in your hand. A Big Mac cost about $2.24 in the year 2000. By 2024, it ran about $5.69, a jump of roughly 154%. That single sandwich climbed faster than the average wage and faster than overall inflation. So when people say their money just evaporates, they are not confused. They are reading the menu board, and the menu board is telling the truth. So we have a puzzle. Wages beat inflation on average. Real purchasing power is up, and yet half of life feels out of reach. The resolution is simple once you see it. Inflation is not one number. It is hundreds of numbers, and they are pulling violently in opposite directions. Here is the entire story in a single chart. Take every major spending category and sort it by how much its price changed since 2000. At one end, televisions down about 97%. At the other end, hospital services up about 220%. Same country, same quarter century, same dollars. Down the middle sit two reference points. Overall prices up about 90% and wages up about 123%. Everything to the cheap side of those marks got more affordable relative to your pay. Everything past them got harder to afford. Take the two ends of that chart and set them right next to each other. A television, down about 97%. A hospital stay, up about 220%. Same country, same 24 years, the same dollars leaving the same wallet. One number fell through the floor while the other broke through the ceiling, and a single paycheck was asked to stretch across both at once. And this split is not random, and it is not about any election or any party. It is structural. Look at what falls on each side. The things that got cheaper are things you can build in a factory, automate, and ship across an ocean: tradable goods, made anywhere, sold everywhere. The things that got more expensive are made by local human hands you cannot import: a nurse, a professor, a builder, a childcare worker. When a service is mostly somebody's time, and that time can't be automated or offshored, its price tends to rise with wages, sometimes faster. Let's look only at the winners, the things that got cheaper. Televisions fell about 97%. Toys, down about 72%. Computer software, down about 70%. Cell phone service, down about 41%. And clothing and new cars stayed roughly flat in nominal terms, which, after 90% overall inflation, means they got dramatically cheaper relative to everything else. This is the quiet good news. The physical, tradable stuff of modern life has never been more affordable in terms of your time. Now the other side of the chart, and this is the side you feel. Hospital services, up about 220%. College tuition, up about 178%. College textbooks, up about 162%. Medical care services, up about 130%. Childcare, up about 115%. Food and beverages, up about 82%. Housing, up about 80%. Every one of the big, unavoidable services rose, and the steepest ones rose faster than your paycheck. Now line a few of them up on one slope, every category starting together at the year 2000, and watch them fan apart. Televisions and software dive toward the floor. Hospital care and college tuition climb clean off the top. There is nothing gentle about this picture. It is two escalators running in opposite directions, and every household in the country is standing with one foot on each. Three of them stand out for blowing past wages by the widest margins. Hospital care, up about 220%. College tuition, up about 178%. Childcare, up about 115%. These are the bills that define whether a family feels secure, and they are exactly the bills that outran the race. Before this tips into pure gloom, hold the other half up to the light, because it is just as real. Measured in the hours you have to work to afford them, a television costs about 97% less than it did in 2000. Software, about 70% less. Phone service, roughly 40% less. The tradable, manufactured world keeps getting lighter on your time. Half of modern life genuinely got easier. It is simply not the half that keeps you awake at night. So let's change the ruler. Instead of dollars, measure price in hours, how long you have to work to buy something. Measured this way, the divergence is brutal. The hours of work needed to buy a television collapsed toward almost nothing. The hours needed to cover a hospital stay climbed and stayed high. Same paycheck, two opposite worlds. The world of things you buy is getting cheaper by the year. The world of things you need is getting dearer. And zoom all the way out to 1971. The same hour of blue-collar work that bought 1 unit of a basket of everyday finished goods back then, clothes, furniture, appliances, electronics, tools, buys about 5.2 units of that same basket today. In time-price terms, that basket got about 81% cheaper in just over 50 years. For manufactured goods, abundance is the long-run story, full stop. But housing broke the pattern and broke it hard. In the 1990s, a typical home cost about 3.2 times the median household income. By 2024, that ratio reached about 5.0, sitting near an all-time record. A home stopped being 3 years of income and became 5. Nothing about a wage that doubled fixes a price that more than doubled relative to it. Put real numbers on it. In 2024, the median home price reached about $412,500 at that 5 times income ratio. And the average cost of childcare hit roughly $13,100 a year for one child. These are the local, human, non-tradable services. They don't get automated. They don't get imported. They mostly get more expensive. There's one more layer, because the raise itself was not shared evenly. From 1979 to 2023, wages for the bottom 90% of earners rose about 44% after inflation. Over the same years, wages for the top 1% rose about 182%, and for the top tenth of 1%, about 354%. So when we say the average paycheck doubled, remember that an average can hide an enormous spread underneath it. So here's the whole thing in one breath. Your raise was real. It genuinely beat inflation on average. And it got eaten unevenly. The goods got cheaper. The services got dearer. The stuff you can hold in your hands has never cost less of your time. The stuff that keeps a family healthy, housed, and educated has rarely cost more. You can't change the structure. But knowing which side of that line every dollar lands on, that's the difference between feeling broke and spending wisely.